Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we have another IELTS practice speaking test. A very impressive candidate, but I won't add any more comments about it yet. Enjoy. I think you will find this very instructive. Good afternoon. My name is Glyn. Would you please tell me your full name?
My name is Brian DeLeon, but you can just call me Brian.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Now, in this first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Where are you from, Brian?
I was born and raised in the Philippines. It's in the central Luzon part. This is the biggest island in the Philippines. It's the name of the city is Angeles City. It used to be owned by the American government, but now it's owned by the Philippines again, so it's nice.
And do you like Angela City?
Oh, I have very conflicting views towards the city. Like, I appreciate the cultural diversity, but I am not a big fan of the religious presence in the city. There are a lot of people who are very devout Catholics. And when you really try to listen to their preaches or observe the way they live their lives, there would be such a disconnect. So I'm like, oh, it's such a city of judgmental people. I would rather, I like the topography, I like the cityscape. I appreciate a lot of the physical components of a city, but the population itself, there are some things here and there that would really raise an eyebrow.
And what are some of the most famous or iconic places in the city?
Okay, so this is going to be a challenge. I did not grow up in Angeles City. I stayed there for about 7 years. And based on this limited time, I know that people loved this old church that was established in 1521. And that was the time when the Spaniards claims to have discovered the Philippines. So it's one of the earliest churches in the Philippines. And it is celebrated for having been seen or identified as the root of Catholicism in Asia. So, yeah, people talk about it all the time. Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about t-shirts now. Do you like wearing t-shirts?
Yes, I do. I appreciate their flexibility. I think they're unbelievably affordable for everything that they offer. In addition to that, you don't really have to overthink your fashion sense when you're just simply wearing a t-shirt. And I think because it's widely used by a lot of people, when you're wearing t-shirts, people feel safer around you. They're not too intimidated compared to, when I'm wearing a suit, people would be assuming things or a little bit of a disparity between our social status.
And are there any times when it's not suitable to wear a t-shirt?
Oh, of course. There are moments when you would have to attend a business meeting. And if the person that you are having at least this meeting with is of a discerning, affluent type of person, you really want to show your best. And I think you would get a lot of judgments if you are wearing a t-shirt rather than being presentable.
And do you prefer buying t-shirts online or in a regular shop?
I would rather buy them online. I want to abridge everything in my life, trying to streamline everything and save time. You know, we can't deny that there's a lot of convenience when things are just being dropped off the porch and you're just going to grab them. So I really like that.
And do you have any favorite t-shirts?
Oh, I wish I can show you my closet. All my t-shirts look the same. So it's impossible to pick a favorite because I can't even identify which one is which. They're all black, round neck t-shirts, and they kind of give me a really nice shape.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Now, in this next part of the test, I'm going to give you a topic, and I would like you to speak about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. But before that, you will have 1 minute to prepare for your talk, and you may take notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Mhm. I will now share the topic on my screen. Can you see the topic?
Yes.
I'd like you to talk about a time when you had to do something in a hurry. Your 1 minute of preparation time starts now.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the end of your preparation time. To remind you, you will have between 1 and 2 minutes to give your talk, and I will let you know when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Sure. I must admit, this is going to be a really embarrassing story, so I'm going to preface it with that. However, in an attempt to talk about this, I'm going to share a time when I was very late for my flight. And I think we've all experienced like barely cutting it to the closing of the gates, the airport. I am used to having someone else organize my day for me because I don't work alone. I work in a team, and when you have an assistant, they plan everything for you. My most recent trip to the Philippines is a personal trip, and I forgot to put it on my organizer or to record it on my phone. What happened next was I completely lost the date on my ticket. I overslept in the afternoon and I woke up because my friend thought I was already at the airport. And they're like, Brian, the gates are closing in 13 minutes. What the hell are you thinking? And, you know, in a hurry, I had to grab everything without even looking. I meant it was such an indiscriminate grab of anything that I could reach for. And then I put it all in my suitcase, ran to the airport. And when I was there, I realized I wasn't even wearing matching footgear. And it was embarrassing because on one hand, I was wearing basketball shoes. On one foot, sorry, I was wearing basketball shoes. And then the other one was a running shoe. As soon as I got there, my friends were laughing because I looked like a train wreck. And I just told them the truth that I failed to organize my own day. I've grown dependent on other people. And this is a very important trip. It
Okay,
shows that sometimes my priorities are misaligned.
thank you. All right, so you've been talking about a time when you had to do something in a hurry. Let's talk about doing things quickly. What are the benefits of making fast decisions?
People who are able to make decisions quickly can save a lot of time for themselves. And when you are doing that, you are freeing yourself and making yourself available for other things. There are people, though, who do not believe that doing things in a hurry would equate in quality work. And I'm one of those people. I like preparing things ahead of time and being more organized. I think another benefit of doing things in a hurry is being able to exhibit a little bit of mastery. When you are able to do things quickly, people are convinced that you're a little bit of an authority when it comes to this. They're like, oh, it's effortless, it's quick. Maybe he's really good at this. And they tend to respect that. We live in a world where people no longer care about distance, they care about time. So if you can deliver something at a short time, people would favor your work. There's a little bit of bias towards that.
Don't you think, on the other hand, that people who make decisions too quickly could be judged as being maybe disorganized?
That is a very big possibility. And to be honest, I find people who make decisions quickly a little bit more callous. I'm one of those people who like weighing my options. I grew up as that high school kid who tries to write every pro and con of a situation. There are some people who are able to deliver results and able to make the right decisions quickly. That's because they base it on their experiences. But we should always question if this is the right way and if it optimizes our time. Because if there's no rush, why are we trying to be fast instead of being effective and efficient? I think our bias towards speed is the reason why we are generally stressed out as a population. We're trying to do everything quickly, and there's no prize for that, really.
And do you think this problem will get better or worse in the future?
Oh, worse. Just, I always questioned the way people favor productivity. And now productivity is being linked towards multitasking or delivering things on time. And then they've taken it a bit further by favoring people who can deliver before the deadline. And this kind of bias is not healthy. We have found a way to minimize the value of sleep. We no longer engage in a lot of social interactions. So in the future, I think the constant appreciation for speed over quality, balance, and wellness will actually worsen.
So, of course, being forced to do things too quickly can often lead to higher levels of stress. What advice could you give to someone who's feeling particularly stressed?
Uh, Always question things. I am a little bit of a nonconformist. I think there's a little bit of relief when you question things and find your own peace in having a different answer. One of these concepts nowadays would have to be work-life balance, and I'm completely against this. At the sound of being crass, I think it's bullshit. Nobody should be working as much as they are living. You should be living more than you are working. And to me, if you are constantly trying to get ahead of time, you're actually chasing your own graveyard. Like, what are you going to get at the end? Make sure that you are dedicating time to significant human experiences or building better relationships with people. There's no reward to finishing first in life. That's just, again, the graveyard. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
And of
don't
course,
care.
the development of technology can also lead to higher levels of stress. But can you think of any ways in which we could use technology to help us overcome problems with stress?
Yes, of course. There's a lot of smart technology that we have nowadays, artificial intelligence being one of them, generative AI. Um, Leave the planning and forecasting to AI. They may not be as flexible as humans, but they're using algorithms and they're keeping a database of human behavior. So to me, if there are other things that require planning and predicting, use artificial intelligence for that. One thing that really bothers me is our misconception of technology. I think we are convinced that we are supposed to catch up to technology or technology should not surpass human capacity. And that's the reason why we're so stressed out. People are afraid that the capacity of artificial intelligence would displace them from their actual jobs or they'd lose their place in the industry. That's just not true because I think people are hardwired to appreciate human touch. So
Okay, thank
always
you.
rely on.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is the end of the test. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that practice speaking test from Brian. Of course, if you have any comments on his performance, leave them in the comments section below. And in the next few days, of course, I will give my own reaction to this speaking performance, giving feedback on the many, many positive features of Brian's speech, and also just listening back, I caught just a couple of very minor grammatical errors, but will those grammatical errors pull his score down so that he doesn't get the perfect 9, or is his speaking that good that he gets the perfect 9? We'll have to wait and find out. So probably this video will go up tomorrow or maybe the day after tomorrow, but we shall see. Anyway, I'll leave it there. See you again next time. Bye bye.